The Las Vegas Aces, the team that revitalized the modern-day super team in the WNBA. They went from dominating the league, winning back-to-back championships, literally having teams craft their roster in order to beat the Aces, is now the team that did not live up to expectations this year, and is a team that's one by one falling apart in front of our own very eyes.
What if I told you the mightiest team in the WNBA is on the brink of collapse? The Las Vegas Aces, once the undisputed queens of the court, are now facing a crisis. Free agency has begun, and it's looking grim. Key players are eyeing the exit, and the front office is in shambles. How is Aces MVP A'ja Wilson handling this sudden fall from grace from championship parades to team implosion? The Aces situation is giving us whiplash.
I'm going to go out there, and I'm going to try to be the best. I get y'all saying best player in the world. That's great. It looks great. But I want to be the best person. I want to be the best teammate, because that's how I get the best out of my team.
But while Vegas struggles, another team is on the rise. The Indiana Fever are building an impenetrable arc with Caitlin Clark at the helm and a front office makeover that's turning heads. Could we be witnessing a changing of the guard in the WNBA? Are you ready? Let's go.
And recently, they have been in the news for all the wrong reasons.
Remember when the Las Vegas Aces were the crown jewel of the WNBA? Those days are fading fast. The once unstoppable dynasty is crumbling, and there's trouble brewing in Sin City. Picture this: the Aces just crashed out of the 2024 playoffs, humiliated by the New York Liberty. Their offense, once a powerhouse, fell apart when it mattered most. We're talking a nearly 7-point drop in their offensive rating. Kelsey Plum and Chelsea Gry, their shooting percentage just took a nosedive in the playoffs. It's like they forgot how to play basketball overnight.
We have to get better. We have to really take a sharp look at ourselves, look ourselves in the mirror, see our shortcomings, and then, you got to make the moves necessary, whatever that means, to put the best product that we possibly can. It's not going to be the same group probably next year. It just won't. And I'm sad about that, because I really like that group. They were a pain in my ass, but I was a pain in their ass too.
Settles on their disappointing season. The real drama is unfolding. The Aces ship is taking on water fast, with key personnel jumping overboard left and right. Coach Becky Hammond didn't mince words. This team won't be the same in 2025. Talk about an understatement. The front office, it's a ghost town. General manager Natalie Williams gone, her top assistants packed up and left. It's a mass exodus, and everyone's scrambling for the life votes.
Despite back-to-back championships and a deep playoff run this season, the Las Vegas Aces have fired general manager Natalie Williams.
But here's where it gets juicy. Kelsey Plum, their sharpshooter extraordinaire, is eyeing the exit. Word is she's got the Golden State Valkyries in her sights. The Aces slapped her with the core designation, but that's like trying to stop a flood with a paper towel. Get this, the Aces are offering Plum a supermax contract worth around $250,000 for the 2025 season. But even with all that cash on the table, she's still got one foot out the door. Looks like money can't buy team.
What is going on in their locker room? Like, this Aces team is falling apart. This is not a coach that I would want to play for.
So how did the mighty Aces fall so far so fast? Could their own success be their downfall? Think about it. Back-to-back championships, a roster full of all-stars, the glitz of Las Vegas. It's enough to make anyone's head swell. But while they were busy basking in their own glory, the rest of the league caught up. Now the Aces are learning the hard way that pride comes before the fall. The question is, can they turn this ship around, or is this the end of an era in Sin City? It's almost like their success was the beginning of their downfall. Who knew being on top could lead to such a spectacular tumble?
We talked a lot of smack last year. I'm sure they heard it, and they got to smack us this year. So, for us, we will have a long off season.
You know what they say about an empty throne, everyone wants to sit in it. But in the case of the Las Vegas Aces, it's more like a sinking ship with no one at the helm. The front office is looking more like a ghost town. And guess who might be the last one standing? Becky Hammond herself. But can one woman steer the ship through stormy waters? Let's break it down. Free agency has begun, but who's making the decisions? Cricket, still no GM in sight now. Let's talk about Becky Hammond. She's eyeing a Cheryl Reeves-style takeover, the whole coach and GM combo meal. It's a power move, sure, but is it too much too soon? Hammond's already hinting at some major shakeups, saying we have to really take a sharp look at ourselves, see our shortcomings, and then make the moves necessary sounds like someone's ready to swab the decks.
The WNBA's newest franchise, the Golden State Valkyries, have named Natalie Nakase as their first ever head coach.
But here's the twist. While Hammond's potentially gearing up for a one-woman crew, her former assistants are jumping ship Natalie Nassi. She's making waves with the Golden State Valkyries as the first Asian-American head coach in WNBA history. And then there's Tyler Marsh. Now he's diving into the choppy waters of the Clip 9. Meanwhile, back in Sin City, the Aces are taking on water. There's still no credible replacements to Hammond's top assistants. It's like watching a ship with only the captain left. You know it's headed for an iceberg.
Chicago, as we just said, has Tyler Marsh as their head coach. He was also an assistant for the Las Vegas Aces, so that's caused a lot of back and forth because they've had two now assistant coaches leave. Natalie Nakase is now the head coach of the Valkyries.
But you can't look away. The rest of the league, they're circling like sharks that smell blood in the water. This leadership void isn't just a small leak. For the Aces, it's a gaping hole in the hull that could sink their dynasty faster than you can say. Back-to-back champs, they're trying to bail out their empire with both hands, but it's flooding faster than they can keep up. Will Hammond be able to plug the holes and keep this ship afloat, or will the AC's reign end up at the bottom of the sea? We don't have it every year. It's not the way this works. You don't get to flip a switch. It's the beautiful thing about sports, actually the work and the commitment and the buy-in and the play hard and the want to and the will always show up in thee. And let's talk about Kelsey Plum, the Aces. Sharp shooting guard who's been lighting up the scoreboard. Her playoff performance about as cold as a Vegas winner in a crucial game against the Liberty. Plum put up a mealy 6 points on 2 of 9 shooting. That's a far cry from her regular season average of 17. 8 points per game, 2 assists, and a sweet 36. 8% from beyond the arc with Plum hitting free agency. You can bet there are plenty of teams lining up to woo her away from Sin City.
We don't have it every year. It's not the way this works. You don't get to flip a switch. It's the beautiful thing about sports, actually. The work and the commitment and the buy-in and the play hard and the want to and the will always show up in the end.
But the drama doesn't stop there. Clark, the veteran forward who's been a rock for the Aces, is feeling the emotional toll of all this chaos. When assistant coach Tyler Marsh packed his bags for Chicago, Clark needed a day to mourn the loss. This wasn't just about losing a coach. It was about losing a mentor and friend who had been instrumental in the team's success. And what about Tiffany Hayes, the seasoned guard, came out of retirement to chase a ring with the Aces? Now she's an unrestricted free agent, and her future with the team is as uncertain as a rookie playing time. Will she stick around for another shot at glory, or is it back to retirement?
Hayes reminds me a lot of you. Like, you say it's not really about me. And she knows how her privilege has gotten her to that point. And also, like, she's good at basketball, but, like, she understands her privilege. It's like what pushes her over the top, in a sense. It reminds me a lot of you.
Remember Kate Martin, the A's bright young prospect? Well, she's now property of the Golden State Valkyries. The expansion draft snatched her up, and she wasted no time packing her bags. Within 48 hours of being drafted, Martin was on a plane to San Francisco, eager to start her new chapter, moving on to the Las Vegas Aces. Another big storyline in this draft was that Kate Martin was drafted to the Golden State Valkyries. But here's what's really got everyone talking: Becky Hammond's not-so-subtle jabs at her own players. She's been calling them out for caring more about their Instagram followers than their free throw percentages. It's like she's trying to coach a team of influencers instead of ballers. So here we are watching the once mighty Aces scrambling to keep their roster from completely falling apart. It's like they're playing a high-stakes game of musical chairs. And when the music stops, they might find themselves without enough players to field a starting 5. The A's locker room has gone from championship champagne to sour grapes real quick, and it's anyone's guess how they'll bounce back from this mess.
It seemed like A'ja Wilson was diminishing the accomplishments of players like Kelsey Plum and Paige Bueckers and someone who is her teammate. It felt like she was giving Kelsey Plum a backhanded compliment. And a lot of people, Aces fans, WNBA fans, Kelsey Plum fans, across the board really had a problem with this video, and it really left a sour taste in their mouth.
You think the Aces on-court drama is messy? Buckle up, because their off-court antics make their game day issues look like child's play. This isn't just drama, it's a full-blown Las Vegas spectacle threatening to eclipse their performance. Forget glitz and glamour. The Aces are serving up a different kind of entertainment.
Moving on to the Las Vegas Aces, another big storyline in this draft was that Kate Martin was drafted to the Golden State Valkyries.
And it's not the kind you'd bet on. Let's be real, the Aces aren't just losing games, they're hemorrhaging public goodwill at an alarming rate. It's like they've decided to go for gold. In scandal collecting instead of chasing championships, so the WNBA suspends Becky Hammon for 2 games. They lose a first-round pick in 2025 because Dirk Hampy says she was bullied for being pregnant, body shamed, or just really harassed because of her pregnancy. First up, the Daika Hami situation, pregnancy discrimination. In 2024, you bet Ham's lawsuit against the Aces and the WNBA is no joke. She's claiming mistreatment for daring to start a family.
The whole league has been pissed off for the last 8 months, and my players are in commercials and this and that and being freaking celebrities, and you get distracted.
The Aces and WNBA are trying to swat this away, but their defense looks shakier than a rookie first playoff game. But wait, there's more. Remember Becky Hammon, the coaching savior? Well, she got benched faster than you can say technical foul for some not-so-smart comments about Ham's pregnancy. The league called it a respect in the workplace violation. The Aces, they're disappointed. Yeah, I bet they are, but we would like to offer each of you individually a sponsorship for this year in the amount of $100,000. No way. The offer is really simple. We want you to just play. We want you to keep repping Las Vegas. Here's where it gets wild. The league's investigating whispers about under-the-table benefits. We're talking potential salary cap violation, improper player, perks, the works. If these allegations stick, we could be looking at fines, lost draft picks, or worse. On top of that, the league is investigating the Aces for potential salary cap circumvention. Back in May, the Las Vegas Convention Authority gave each of the players an additional $100,000 to basically be active in the community. Remember, when A'ja Wilson's biggest problem was deciding which championship ring to wear, now she's watching her team's reputation crumble faster than a house of cards in a Vegas windstorm. She's gone from basking in victory to playing damage control, all while trying to keep the team's on-court performance from tanking. Winning might cure a lot, but even a championship parade can't wash away this much drama. The Aces are learning the hard way that what happens in Vegas doesn't always stay in Vegas, especially when you're losing on and off the court. Everybody can be good here and there, but who can be great every single game, every possession? And that's what I'm striving for from that heated exchange with a referee during the Aces playoff game against the Storm. The courtside tears. Wilson's journey has taken an unexpected turn once the golden girl of the WNBA. Wilson's recent behavior has fans and analysts alike wondering if the pressure of a crumbling dynasty is getting to her. Remember when Wilson was all smiles and humble pie after winning MVP? Those days seem like ancient history. Now these days, you're more likely to catch her weeping on the sidelines or getting into heated exchanges with refs. Her social media presence has shifted too, with passive-aggressive comments and clapbacks at critics, replacing inspirational posts. One fan tweeted, "What happened to our humble MVP?" And Wilson's response, a simple eye roll emoji. Come on, Andy. You know the question for that, you know the answer for that. But here's the thing, when you're the face of a franchise, every eye roll, every scowl, every frustrated outburst gets magnified. And Wilson's been serving up plenty of those lately. It's not just about her game anymore, it's about her attitude. And frankly, it's not a good look. Even within the Aces camp, opinions are split. Some teammates praise her competitive spirit, while others are less than thrilled with her recent on-court outbursts. As one anonymous player put it, it's like walking on eggshells. Sometimes you never know what's going to set her off.
On top of that, the league is investigating the Aces for potential salary cap circumvention. Back in May, the Las Vegas Convention Authority gave each of the players an additional $100,000 to basically be active in the community.